enough light for you? There's the light. Okay, great. Hey everybody, welcome. Come on in. Don't be shy. We'll get started momentarily. Just gonna get a little organized a little better. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream of fun, YouTube style. We got 2 live streams of fun. We got the Facebook one and we got the YouTube one. And as you know, there's always a special place in my heart for the YouTube live stream of fun, because YouTube's where I started from before they integrated the video on Facebook. So I love my YouTube people. Hey everybody, oh great to see you all. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of playing soft and practicing soft. It's something that kind of happened to me without really even planning it. I was living in an apartment downtown Los Angeles a few years back, and I had neighbors, so I really had no choice. So what I had to do was intentionally, I trained myself to play quietly. And what it ended up doing for me was it ended up really changing my approach to the way I controlled my airflow and my sound. So I highly recommend now for everyone to spend some time with playing at the softest volume you can with still a nice full sound. You don't want to play so quiet where the sound's not coming out, and you don't want to play too loud where it's like the right in the balance. So what I do is I just practice simple on like one note warming up. Now the test is if you had like a small infant taking a nap or somebody taking a nap and you could play real quiet and it's not going to wake them up, then you know you're doing it right. The person who does this the best is Bob McChesney. Whenever I'm next to him and I hear him warming up, I'm like, man, I do not know how you control yourself so well at such a quiet volume when he warms up. It's very impressive. But there are ways you can go about doing it, practicing, just so if you go on one note. And when you practice the long tones as quiet as you can with still a pretty full sound, what it ends up happening is it ends up training your body on how to feel when you do it. So you'll never be able to get it together unless you actually spend some time practicing it. So I really, really highly recommend to just start with the long tones. Then I'd apply it to your scales. Now if you were close to me right now, I'm playing at a very soft volume. So there's a real benefit on practicing all of your literature, all of your exercises at a very soft control volume. It takes a certain restraint. And if you can really control yourself at a soft volume, then when it comes to go at a normal, comfortable volume, everything's going to start to click a little better. Everything is going to start to make a little more sense, and you're not going to have to work as hard because you have the ability to control yourself to a very soft volume. So then once you move the volume up, for some reason the control is there. And a lot of people practice on what they call whisper tones, which is related to this. Okay, I can see your comments. Hold on a second. Are we cool? What is that? That's so weird one. Alright, here we go. Alright, I can see your comments. I'm gonna go. Oh, sorry, I missed so many comments. Okay. How to have a stronger higher range? The best way to get a strong high range is to get comfortable with the low range and building it like a ladder. So you want to build it from a nice strong foundation, and if you control your middle to low register with a nice full sound, just keep adding the notes like you would a ladder. I did a video on range. It'll probably explain it a little better for you. Here's a question. How exactly do you earn money as a musician? Well, there are many ways to earn money as a musician. Many. So many ways that it's actually too much to talk about here, but you can be a freelancer, you can be a producer, you can be an arranger, you could be a copyist, you could be a sound engineer, you can be a solo artist, the list is just insane. I put up a video on how to be a successful freelancer, so you can check that one out. Okay. What is the best way to try out and compare trombones in the process of buying a new one? And how can I know which bore size fits me better? That's a great question. DG Cars. That's a great question. Really great question. Now, what I found is that when you find the right equipment, it starts to click. It's like everyone has their unique prescription, just like a mouthpiece. And you know how when people have their prescription eyeglasses? Well, it's a very similar thing with finding the right equipment. I know I played on some really large bore equipment for a long time, and it was a lot of work actually to play it. And then when I found the right equipment for me, it seemed to be relatively easier for me, and I found out that it's like an eyeglass prescription. You try a bunch of different stuff, and whatever feels good pretty much right away seems to generally be the direction you want to go. But I would never buy an instrument without playing it like on eBay, or just playing an instrument without trying it at least first, or see if they have some kind of return policy, because what ends up happening is sometimes instruments look really pretty, but then when you go and you play them, it doesn't quite work for your particular body. Everyone has a different approach and body, so everyone needs this specific instrument kind of towards their style. Who here is hip to the new scheduling system that I've implemented? Now, this is very exciting. This is very groundbreaking, actually. It's pretty awesome. So now it is so super easy to schedule the one-on-one Skype lessons, or in person if you're in the Los Angeles area. It's so fun. It's so amazing. I'm so thrilled with this new technology. So my calendar is automatically synced to the scheduling on the website. So all you do is you go to paulthetrombonist.com/lesson, or you can click the lesson tab at paulthetrombonist.com. And I'm going to give you a promo code right now. You're going to get 25% off your first lesson with me. You ready for it? It's music, the number 4, and the letter U. Music for you. You type that in, and you're going to get 25% off your first lesson with me. So it's a really good price, actually. Everyone here can afford it. And the testimonials are also on that page too, if you're interested in what other people are saying about them. But I had 9 students last week, and it was so fun, and I got another 3 that signed up this week. So there's some slots still available. And what's cool about it is you can work on anything you want. You want to get into trombone playing, you want to get into improvisation, it's open for any instrument. You want to get up into social media consultation, I've been helping people with their social media. I've been helping people with video editing and how to make videos and audio production and anything that you want to work on. We can get a set path and we can get you on the right track to get to your goals. And it's been so fun. So I'm really looking forward to many more of you signing up. So you just go to paulthetrombonist.com. Remember the code. Write it down. Music for you. You get 25% off your first lesson. Now, this 25% is not going to really last for so long. It's just a limited time. And I did another promotion for something similar before we had this, and I stopped it. And people were like, why'd you stop the promotion? I'm like, well, I like to change things up. I like to test things out with different groups. I like to have like a little promo code for this thing, and then I'll do maybe another promo code. It may not be the 25% off, but I just want you to try it. So that's why I'm giving you the 25% off, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with the lessons, because they're fun for me and they're fun for you, and we can get you on your goals and your paths, so whatever you want. So the topics included are basically anything that you want to work on. We can figure out a path and we'll get you there. So all that's there. It's very easy to navigate through there. So, just check it out right now. If you can somehow, if you're on the laptop or on your computer, you can just open up another browser and just see how it is. See how they organized it. It's so cool. Actually, if I had my computer, it's in the other room, I would show you. It's really cool. So, I can get to your questions, don't you worry. They fly by on this weird phone app. I don't like how they have it organized here. Okay, here's some questions. What is your opinion on buzzing? I heard some players are actually against it. I love buzzing. I love also just warming up without buzzing. I like to mix it up. I like to not just do one thing. I like to try different techniques. I like to try... This is a question from the Derpy Turtle. I like to try different things. I like to vary up different approaches, different techniques from different players, and just try different things. And some things I'll stick with, and some things I just try it out. I think there's value in buzzing. I do, and I think there's value in not buzzing, so I like to do both. And I think it's kind of crazy to tell someone not to buzz if it works for them, because they can get warmed up that way. Sometimes if I can't pick up my horn, I got the mouthpiece in the car and I'm buzzing to a gig and I feel warmed up for a gig, why would someone tell me not to do that if it works? So I don't understand that whole thing of telling people not to buzz. It's not the same as playing the horn, because there's some resistance, but it doesn't mean to discredit it totally, because that's absolutely crazy, because there's some value in it as it stands on itself. What are your tips for improv and jazz? I'm primarily concert-style soloist, so I would highly, Nephew 101, I would highly recommend that you listen to a lot of different people, as many people as possible. Listen to so many different people as possible. Transcribe, learn some of their solos under your instrument, so you can learn a lot from learning other people's solos and then embellishing that solo and kind of making it your own voice and turning it into your own vocabulary. I do a whole bunch of videos on improv. There's some stuff. I do a workshop on improv, and I would love to see where you're at and get you to the path that you want. So, yeah, schedule a lesson. That's really the best way, because then I'll be able to help you specifically to where you're at, and we'll get you to your goals on where you want to go. My favorite thing to play on the trombone is a lot of different things. I've always been a fan of improvising. I love to improvise. I love playing in big band. I love reading. I love sight reading. Sight reading is actually one of my favorite things to do, because it's kind of like a game. Sight reading is kind of like Guitar Hero, It's like you just start and then you hold on until it's done. I'm really fascinated with sight reading. I love it. Tried using a practice mute and I was killing myself on the high notes. Okay, now the thing about upper Robin 29, that's a good point. The thing about using a practice mute is that you don't play the same way when you practice on a practice mute. Okay? If you are playing the same way you normally play with the practice mute in, you're going to hurt yourself as you experience, because there's a different resistance, there's a different back pressure that's applied with the mute in there. And you want to play as soft as you possibly can with the mute in there. That's really the best way. I did a video on that, actually, how to practice with the practice mute. Any tips for improving technically? Yes. There's 3 components to brass playing. There's lip slurs, long tones, and articulation. You want to hit on each one of those every day. And just a little bit each day, because those are the 3 elements of the brass playing. And once you hit on each one of those each day, you're going to improve and grow the best way possible. I do like trombone with F attachment. I do trombone rocks. Great question. That's awesome. Great to connect with you all. So, limited time. I think the promotion will go for another week or so, and the slots are filling up. So you want that 25% off. It's very cheap to get an hour lesson with me. I don't know if this will be this particular rate for much longer, but remember the code. It's music for you. You type it in, and then my calendar's synced up, and we can find a time, and it's gonna be great. Okay, another question. I stopped playing for a year because of health. Now I had a problem when play, losing air on the side of the lips. Yeah, good question. Because the chops get fatigued if they're not playing for a while. So the best way, I had a health issue like a while back when I was in college, and I had to stop playing for a little while. So I understand that. The best way is to just continue to do the long tones, you know. And one thing that Arturo Sandoval told me that really stuck with me, and actually I was just with him today, was he told me that, never be in a hurry when you're warming up and practicing. Never be in a hurry. And that's just a great advice, because you just want to take your time and be as nice, as easy as you possibly can. And I highly recommend that. And just remember that you will get your chops back. Your chops will come back. They won't go away forever. But you just take your time and be nice and patient with it, and don't push yourself, because you may end up hurting yourself. So just take your time. Learn to enjoy the process. Learn to enjoy the long tones. Learn to enjoy the lip slurs. Learn to enjoy it, and take a lot of rest. Especially when you're getting right back into it. Like I've been working on the bass trombone right now, and I can't do it too much. Since I'm not a bass trombonist, I can't do it too much. So I just pace myself. I warm up on the tenor, and then I do a little bass trombone, and then I just take a break, because I had an issue when I was playing the bass trombone a while back, because I don't practice it much, and I just played it all day, and I ended up, my chops got swollen because I was exercising different muscles. So the thing is to rest, to ease into it, to pace yourself, to take your time. Okay? Got another questions. Okay, here's one. This is from Baylor, how do you train your ear since we literally play a giant tuning slide? Well, the best way to is just to play with a lot of different people, to record yourself and to hear where you're at in the intonation. Another way is when you practice with a tuner. Practicing with a tuner, I recommend it. But when you're practicing with the tuner, don't look at the tuner while you're playing. Just periodically look at the tuner. So you're going to be playing with the tuner. Tuner's going to be going on over here. And then I'll glance at the tuner on a random note to see where it is. Because what happens when you play with the tuner and you're looking at it the whole time is you're constantly adjusting to the tuner, and that's not real life. You want to have it instinctively, the ability to play with good intonation, and the way to do that is to periodically check the tuner, okay? Does mouthpiece material affect your playing in any way? Yes, it does. Certain people are a little more sensitive to different alloys, different metals, different finishes. So you may try experimenting with different things. There are many different ways there's many different materials that make up mouthpieces now. I know they have stainless steel mouthpieces. I know they have gold plated rims. I know they have plastic. There's all kinds. Try a bunch. See what happens with you. If you're allergic to one material, try another material. Maybe it's a good material for you. All my equipment, if someone's asking about my equipment, all my equipment is listed on my website, paulthetrombonist.com, under the equipment tab. If you have any questions on the equipment, it's all listed there, okay? I have a gold-plated mouthpiece. I like it. Some people like it, some people don't. You got a new Holton with an F attachment, came with 5G mouthpieces. Yeah, it's good. I have a Holton actually, bass trombone. I like it. Is there some lag? I'm seeing lag now. This is crazy. Some lag here. What audio interface do I use with my microphone? Equipment tab's best way. I got a link that goes right to the Amazon equipment of what I'm using. It's a Scarlett, but the exact model's on my website, the equipment tab. You're going to check that audio interface right there, and that will explain it better than anything. Any tips on how to breathe better on trombone? Great question. I hate to keep referring you back to videos that I made, but the thing is, I made a lot of videos about a lot of these topics, and I really go into depth with an organized approach, so that really is the best way. If you look for the video I put up about a month ago called How to Breathe, then you're going to be cool, and it's going to explain to you my thought process on breathing. All right, so I see some people just signed up for private lessons, so you got maybe a week left to get it at 25% off. PaulTheTrombonist.com. Super easy to schedule your time, no back and forth. You get the time that's good for you. We do the Skype lessons. We talk about anything you want to talk about, and I'm super excited to connect with you more on there. So remember, folks, Paul the Trombonist, thank you for watching these videos. Thanks for watching the Bone Masters I put up yesterday. There's going to be a video I'm putting up tomorrow that's going to be pretty interesting. I think you're going to enjoy it. If I had to give a tip to someone just starting, what would I tell them? I would tell them that to learn to love to practice. You know, when I was a young boy, Wycliffe Gordon told me, "Do you love to practice?" And then that kind of stuck with me the rest of my life. And I just saw him a couple weeks ago, and I go, I met you when I was a little boy, and you told me, "Do you love to practice?" And that was a really amazing thing he told me, because it kind of made me think about it. And I do love to practice. I love to constantly get better, and there's no shortcuts. You're not going to get better with shortcuts. It's all going to come together if you're patient, you're persistent, you're consistent, and you love it, and you learn to love the process. Don't expect it to all click overnight. But if you truly love music and you can't imagine yourself doing anything else, then you know that you're doing the right thing. Okay? You're the best. Ask some more questions when I sign off in the comments, and I'll try to answer as many as possible, okay? I'm seeing a lag, so I'm kind of nervous that the connection's not good. But wishing you the best. See you all at the private lessons. PaulTheTrombonist.com to schedule lessons tab. Thank you so much. Be sure to like this video. If you find some value in this content, be sure to hit like. Okay, thank you so much. I'll answer some more of these questions when I sign off, so just re-ask them once the broadcast is archived. Okay, thank you so much. You take care.